Hey everybody, this is my T Bar tank, and just the other day I was talking about this tank in another video. The video was actually about my crayfish in my native tank, and I was realizing that I have no calcium in my water, and shelled animals need calcium in the water. So my concern is that I've got two of these mystery snails in this tank, and I don't want to lose them. I've never really had good luck with mystery snails over the years, and I've always wondered why. I've always thought of snails being the kind of animals that can just live in any old water, and it never really occurred to me that my water doesn't have enough stuff in it for the snails. So there's plenty of organics in the water, that's not the issue. There's just no dissolved minerals in my water. I've got a little bit of sodium, and that's it. I've got no magnesium, and most importantly, I've got no calcium. So in my snail tank, the tank that I breed snails to feed my pufferfish in my brackish tank, I deliberately put some cuttlebone in there just to add calcium so that the snail shells stay nice and hard, and that way when my puffer eats them, they achieve the desired results, which is to wear his teeth down and keep his teeth from overgrowing. So I'm doing something in that tank to help the snails. I've put a bunch of crushed eggshells in my native tank to help the crayfish. But what am I going to put in this tank to help my two mystery snails? Because there's a black one in here somewhere, and his shell is already starting to look really odd. It's almost like a weird stripy grayish color, like it's fading out or something. And I was already kind of wondering about why it looked so off compared to when I got it. And now I'm not wondering so much anymore. I tend to think that it is that calcium deficiency in this tank. So I was thinking that I could put some marble in here. I don't want tons of calcium. I have soft water, and all my tanks are sort of set up around soft water, so I don't want to put crushed coral or anything like that that's going to dissolve very quickly into the water. But something like marble will probably work really well. So I'm thinking maybe I can find some black marble somewhere and maybe tuck a few pieces in here and there behind some of the plants, or maybe underneath some of the other wood. I don't know. I really tend to want to stay away from doing any kind of liquid additives. I know I can always just pour some liquid calcium in the tank. I'm just not real good at staying on top of things like that. That's why I don't even put foods or ferts in my tank. I either forget I've done it and then double dose, or I forget I've done it and then just don't do it, and then too long a time goes by and I wonder when the last time I did it was, and I'm just not good at keeping track of things and doing things in a nice orderly fashion. I guess that's what it looks like when a snail jumps off the edge of something. I've never seen a snail leap off the end of a leaf before, but there you go. First time for everything. That was cool. So anyway, that's why I'm leaning towards putting something in there that's going to be more just put it in there and forget about it, and then it'll accomplish what I want it to do, just like crushing up the eggshells, or putting the cuttlebone in the snail tank. Now, of course, this tank, visually, as I've said, I don't really want a bunch of crushed up, eggshells on the bottom of this tank with the black substrate. But having some, marble in the bottom that the snails can actually physically crawl across, I don't know if they'll actually be able to intake calcium directly from the marble if they're sort of grazing on the marble, or if the plants growing on the marble will draw the calcium into the plants. Not really sure how that works, but I know that marble is a calcium-based rock, and if we put it in the tank here, I will very slowly start to dissolve some calcium into the water. And worst case scenario, it can't hurt. It may not dissolve much, it may not be enough. I don't know a whole lot about this. I've never really bothered with having to add anything to my water. So, if you think that just putting some marble in the tank's not really going to make the difference one way or the other, by all means, go to the comments down below and let me know. and I'd be interested to hear what your input is. And again, I know there's liquid additives I can put in there. It's just I tend to stay away from doing stuff like that for reasons I've already stated. So anyway, feel free to leave your comments below. I'd love to hear your thoughts, your opinions, or whatever. And make sure you're subscribed. That way you won't miss anything I got coming up. You'll be able to follow along with the saga of my snails. And then don't forget, this one here is my T Bar tank. So thanks for watching. I'll see you real soon in the next one.